Now, when the war began, the Second World War in 1939, the Netherlands actually declared neutrality. They thought they're hopefully going to get away with it, again, basically as they did in the First World War, where the Netherlands had declared themselves to be neutral, and in fact that was respected, same as Switzerland. There was no actual fighting on Dutch soil in the First World War. The Second World War, they were not to be so lucky. And part of their optimism here, you might think it's kind of misplaced in the Nazis. Well, actually, a lot of Dutch people, and in fact was reciprocated by Hitler himself, actually felt a certain affinity with Dutch and German people. Hitler himself thought of the Dutch as part of his sort of Aryan general master race of people. So in this regard, I suppose, from the Dutch government's perspective, you could understand maybe why they thought they might get a certain sort of lenient treatment from the Germans. But nonetheless, as the war started to click into gear in the spring of 1940, tanks were amassed at the Dutch border, ready to invade the Netherlands as they wanted to secure the very vital ports, particularly Rotterdam and the Scheldt Delta, which is what protects the port of Antwerp. So these were vital for the Nazis to take to protect their fortress Europe, the seawall all across the North Sea and Atlantic borders of Europe here. So indeed, the Netherlands was not going to be spared neutrality. And just as these tanks were poised at the border, the Luftwaffe bombed the city of Rotterdam quite heavily in May 1940 and gave an ultimatum, essentially 48 hours or to surrender or bomb other cities such as Amsterdam, such as Utrecht, which were greatly historical, beautiful cities that we see today. And so indeed the Dutch government capitulated. And life went on, sort of relatively normal for the first couple of years of the war here in the Netherlands. Relatively normal, that is, except of course for the Jewish population in the city. Right away from the German occupation in 1940 onwards, they brought in the same curbs of limitations against freedoms that the Jewish population in Germany were facing. So, for instance, there was curfews put on Jewish people. As time went on, they couldn't use public transportation. They couldn't even ride bicycles in the city. They were denied access to public hospitals, and most obvious of all, they were made to wear the star on their clothing, the yellow Star of David with Jude, or Jew, written directly on it. And one of the things that made identifying Jewish people in the Netherlands, and Amsterdam in particular, very easy for the Nazis was the Dutch manner in which they collected census information. Was that they had their religion of every citizen in the country very sort of easily identifiable on the census records, and they knew exactly where they lived. So that would have dramatic repercussions in the years to come.